This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back to the show. We are so honored to have Stacy Mongar joining us. She's a psychic medium and really ecstatic to talk to her about the work she does, from readings, energy work, cold cases, missing persons, corruption, human trafficking, and so much more. So welcome to the show today. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fairly well. How are you? And thank you for having me. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
being here. I'm so excited to talk to you and just want people to know about you, Stacy. It's Stacy, by the way, with
Yes.
no E, the way it should be. And you're based out of Lincoln, Nebraska, right?
Currently, I am. I was living in Omaha for quite a while, 7, 8 years.
Well,
So, yeah,
you
been back in
are
Lincoln for several years.
you are fascinating, and I read your story, and I want people to get to know you first. And you say you have these abilities since you were a child. Would you mind just diving into a little bit about, you and as a child and how you knew you were a psychic and a medium and all this stuff? Let's get talking.
Well, it's rather convoluted at this point in time. I've covered some stuff, and actually, since being on the podcast, I've uncovered quite a bit about myself. Um, I was supposedly born and raised in Seattle, Washington, and I remember a very young age, probably about 4 or 5, um, knowing things I shouldn't know and thinking it
Hmm.
was just normal that everybody else did it, and realizing not, and then realizing that people want me to be quiet. They didn't want me to know who I was. Supposedly my dad worked for a Boeing company, and so that is why we were there in Seattle, Washington, and we moved quite frequently. And I've total to date 24 times
Hmm.
I've moved around the country. So, but I do remember knowing things. I remember being told to be quiet numerous times, that,
Wow.
oh, you're being silly. But it gets a little bit dicier than that. I find out that I was apparently lied to my
Oh,
entire life. I'm uncovering that right now as we speak, and it's been a long process, but potentially DNA, and that I was lied to, and that my family isn't exactly my family, and that I was lied to.
oh,
And it's been an interesting, painful, but I've had time to heal along the way. I have time to currently, right now, I'm completely cut off from everybody
oh,
intentionally. And if you've heard me on with Steve, it's because of financially withholding money, property inheritance, all of
oh,
this that
no,
I'm
no.
aware of being hidden, but also um, a lot of things along the way, a lot of abuse that has taken place, pertaining mostly to the emotional, and being told lies, complete fabrication, and some of this just out of sheer greed. And I'm finding out. But also wrapped up with this is my abilities unfolding and them shutting them down completely and intentionally, because they didn't want me to know who I was, um, how gifted I truly was. And I do
Yeah.
believe that before even me being born, that they knew. And so how to answer certain questions. And I
Yeah.
do believe I'm in the process of trying to get a DNA test, and to shed light on that. But meanwhile, I'm exposing things. I'm knowing things. My forte seems to be exposing corruption, or a truth teller, which
Wow.
you've probably been hearing about. And whether you're in the capacity of in this spiritual, such as myself, or other capacities, whether you're law enforcement, which I have worked with before, um, or other capacities, or people coming forward in the capacity
Mm-hmm.
of being truth tellers. And you know what happens to truth tellers? They're shut down.
Sometimes they get silenced. Yep, I'm assuming that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And it's been a ride. Stories I could write a book on just this, and I've been told I should, and it's one of these days, yes, that might occur. But name it, it's happened to me. And it's there are other people in it. Not only am I speaking for myself, but I'm speaking for other people out there as well, and other people that have been stepping forward, like from the spiritual community, that are very gifted exposing crimes and corruption, um, that have been silenced along the way. But usually their stories are that of, you experience gang stalking, you experience a multitude of things to stop you from becoming who you are, and whether it be means of silencing you through making sure you can't make money, making sure that you cannot have a place to live, whether all your relationships are shut down, and defamation of character is the first most. That's what they go to. It's the go-to thing, and
Wow.
making sure that you cannot speak your truth and what truly is going on. So they said, well, you must be crazy. And I'm thinking how many times that's going to, no, a lot of projection, a lot of deflection. And they want to put you in that box. They want to
Oh,
spin that narrative.
horrible.
Yes. And so that's, what's been occurring here. I speak about that very frankly, and to once again not only expose the people, but also bring people that are experiencing it as well. And there are others that have been doing that. And my goal is to really put it out there and to recognize the people that are doing the right thing, because so often we don't hear about
Yeah.
that, or think they exist, for that matter. The people who speak the truth, the people that truly want to do the right thing, because there's a price tag attached to that.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't know you personally yet, and I'm excited that you're here today in our room, and our viewers and listeners are getting to know you and your story. Again, Stacy, the psychic medium, joining us here live today, and I can only imagine. I would love to hear more of your stories, and how, you're helping so many. This is with corruption, you mentioned drug trafficking, gun trafficking. My goodness.
Yes, and primarily I've gone after human organ trafficking, and basically the pedophile rings, sexual rings that have been occurring. And thank God, a few of them have been exposed currently uh, around, the state in which I live in. So, which it needs to be. It really does.
Yeah.
And as I always say, and I've been saying this for quite some time, this phrase, enough is enough.
Well,
And
go ahead.
go ahead.
I just want to make sure we're covering everything because I want to hear, obviously what else that you can help us with. And if you do you want to share more of your backstory or not? Because I know you're just new to me, but if you've done these before, obviously people, already know. I want to
Yeah.
hear more about you, please.
Oh, well,
Fascinating.
basically, um, like I said, it started off supposedly at Seattle, Washington. I'm finding out that I may or may not have been born there. And this is where it gets convoluted if my DNA is different. Um, the overseas thing has come in, that potentially, but I'm wondering if it's more alluded to um, the corruption that's surrounded, and from money and from other things being kept from me. A lot of things have been utilized, paying off people. This has been happening for years, and I know they pay people to come forward to me
Mm-hmm.
and to not only get information, but also to uh, do other things. And I've had life insurance policies I know taken out on me. And
Oh.
this is people closest to me, which is lovely to find out that the people that you truly did love. And, for like most of us that are in the upright and are authentic and our journeys and who we are.
Yeah.
And the times that I've thought to myself, okay, I hope I am coming across as authentic, that people do feel that energy, because as I've discussed before on the podcast, energy doesn't lie. It doesn't lie.
Yeah.
It does not lie at all. Energy is the one truth teller above everything else. It does not lie. And you can cloak it literally, that people that do that energy harvest, that cloak their energy,
Mm-hmm.
that are pretending to be something that they are not. It's all an illusion. And apparently I had everybody around me. There's not been too many people that have not. And what unfortunately they have done is intentionally made it so that, I didn't know I had my gifts, to basically cut those off from me. And all within the mask and illusion that, no, you're crazy. And always, and I'm going, yeah, that won't be the first time, but,
Uh-huh. No.
and no, I am not. And no, and I also believe that's another thing, that some false, not only false forged signatures, but also I'm really concerned about forged medical and false power of attorneys, that sort of thing, has, in order for them. But this has been orchestrated from day one. And I'm, finding that out. And well, but, I've had it, this has been a long process, and not knowing exactly how old I am. And maybe I might have had a different name.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are all in question right now.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, for example, I think things are surfacing. I had banks call me. I had somebody from another state and California calling me saying, is this you? There's somebody accessing. And I'm going, yeah, money I was never told I have. So I believe there are bank accounts, and I believe there are some overseas as well as here. But I said, no, this is not me. And to give you a backstory, people have stolen from me, and people are using my names, and they're doing everything. They've committed every single spiritual, they've committed every crime imaginable, whether it be spiritually or conventionally, and to make this happen. And then it's all wrapped up in other crimes. My concern is RICO crimes that I go after. So it's human trafficking, drug trade, arms trade, but human organ trafficking, the pedophile rings, and a multitude of that. And some of that's all not realizing what I have been exposing. And, I remember at a very young age when, started off working at, 14, 15, 16, I started working in the hospitality industry. And unfortunately, not everybody, and once again, I'm going to put that out there, not everybody is committing crimes, thankfully so. But unfortunately, and somewhat in the hospitality, you do have laundering of money, a multitude of other crimes running through. And not everybody, there are other people that are quite upright. They're hard workers. They're producing great food, drink, whatever, hospitality, it might be, what capacity that is in. So I'm putting that disclaimer out there. There are actually people out there. And these are the people I want to help. Upright law enforcement, upright intelligence agencies. I have sat in the offices of ATF FBI. I have literally sat, which is unnerving sometimes, but
Of
going in
course, of course.
and knowing that people might what they think of you, and once again, this has been a process where I just had to shelve that. It's like, I don't really care. I have information that's could be key critical, could be changing and or preventing something bad from really happening. And I do past, present, and future. Um, I just suddenly get downloads. I use a little bit of pendulum. That is about it. But it's always just kind of happened. And I'm thinking, yes, have I thought I am losing my mind at times? And early on, I'm going, what the heck? And as I have spoken about this on the other through global podcast, is that, 2 days before 9/11, I picked up on that energy of planes exploding, going into buildings. And I'm going, what the hell? Why am I picking this up? Why am I knowing this? This is horrific. 2 days later,
Ah,
uh, it happened. I did pick up the energy of Air Force, a base, a military base being just annihilated. And I thought, oh my God. And when I was living in Omaha, which I lived there for about 7 years, I thought it was off it. And I called back here to Lincoln to talk to someone to say, hey, should I do this?
mm-hmm.
Because I know they're going to think I'm nuts, and I'm going to have to do it anyways, regardless. I cannot. I get this in strongly. I got specifics. I got profiles. I literally. So I did call them and off it, and they sure as hell did take me seriously. And I said, I don't know if it's you know the Air Force Base in Offutt, or if it's somewhere else. I'm not too sure. It's like a needle in the haystack. And they said that they couldn't share information that I was supposed to give them, but they couldn't get back to me. I'm going, great. So I want to know what's, because this is coming in specifically. And I said they're locking and loading. They have enough arsenal to kill a lot of people and to do a lot of damage. And
Ah,
I do not care what you think of me. This is it. I'd rather put this out there. And come to find out, I had heard somebody that was a friend of mine said, Stacy, did you hear, did you see on the news? And I said, what? She goes, no, just giving you confirmation that basically an Air Force Base in Travis, Air Force Base in California, I've been given information leading up to stopping basically they had enough ammo, and I do
mm-hmm.
believe bombs to blow up, to do some heavy damage. But I gave them specifics, and I gave them a time, and I said it's going to be but Wednesday, March 14th, 2018, this happened.
Wow. Oh my
And
goodness.
I did it a week before it happened. And
Yeah.
I was extremely nervous. I said, I don't know. I gave them people that they could call to verify who I was. And I said, I get it but you need to listen. Apparently they did shut down the Air Force Base. I was told later they said, well, you were the one. That's why we got it
Mm-hmm.
shut down. They shut down the entire Air Force Base. And I'm saying, good. No, this is good. This is good. You need to do that. But of course, there's quite a lot of Air Force bases in the country.
Got it.
And so, but Travis Air Force Base in California. And that was me. I have had concerns that other people, I have some copycats, I believe, that are running around out there.
Ah,
And others that do good work that are out there have had the same unfortunate problem that people apparently can't, take credit for their own work. They have to take credit as somebody else's or sabotage you in certain ways. And I know that's been out there. I know there's been a lot of things said about me, quite a bit, which I've confronted even in the last year. In the old adage that And this has been running around for years, the prostitution thing. And I'm going, at least it's a high end, is what I was saying, 3,000, hey. And it's like, well, I don't necessarily go after that. Do I have concerns about their safety and well-being when they're out there? And I don't, high end, low end, it doesn't matter, but it's usually low end, the prostitutes, which are, getting human trafficking, that's which is involved, and then you're prostituted out, is what I go after. But protection for all, I confronted somebody, she was 16 in Omaha, and right outside where I lived, which was a nice community where I lived at, it was like 10, 12 blocks out
Wow.
downtown area. And she was 16, and I knew she was being trafficked. And the person, I wasn't too sure if it was John that was with her, somebody was trafficking her. Said, look, I can get you help. And she said, no, I don't want. And I said, no, I'm not going to the cops.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately, corruption within, and once again, not everybody, whether it be law enforcement, intelligence agencies. There are certain people that are not corrupt, and those are the people I'm here to help. But she took off. She was scared. And so I was going to literally take her somewhere, that protects people that have been trafficked. And clearly she had been, but she was scared and she took off. And I have wondered about what had happened to her. But it's situations like that. And there's a lot of people that are involved in making this happen, unfortunately. And we need to address all of that. We need to put it out there. And my abilities, I focus in on things that can happen before they happen. Bombs going off at certain parts. I've made calls on that I've picked that up, the energy. There was someone, and thank God it turned out to be the bomb was not going to go off, whatever he did. 2 days before there in Omaha, I picked up bomb energy, and I thought, oh my God, where this is going to go off? It's going to go off, and I know it's close. Turns out on the city building, which was literally 2-3 blocks from me, someone had left something outside.
Yeah.
And it was met. It was not, apparently whatever he did, it did not go off, but they literally had to clear out the building. They had to clear out surrounding areas, of course, take precaution. But, and somebody knew that I had known, said, oh my God, you freaked. How the hell did you know that? And I said, I just picked up on the energy, and that's what I do. And apparently I've just been doing this, and apparently this is some of why I'm here. But some of what people call a double mission. And I'm on to not only expose some of this, but also be part of the healing process as well. So, and that journey, but I've been threatened. I've been threatened many times, literally. Literally, yeah. I had somebody confront me.
I apologize, Stacy, but we have to continue next time on this. You look beautiful. I'm so sorry about all this, but I love who you are. I love your soul, your energy, and how you continue to strive and help so many people, including yourself. But I want to get to talk more next time. I hope we get to be together again, Stacy. Okay?
Yes. Well, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you. And
I appreciate
thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. We'll chat again next week, I hope. Bye, beautiful.
Sounds good. Bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.